as I turned, I couldn't see anything. It's like something moved really quickly.
And when we were here, we saw a shadow figure in one of the classrooms which turned to an orb, and then we saw it sort of peek round the door frame again at us.
It would just be really nice if... Okay. Walk towards me. Yeah, that definitely came by you, Jeff.
We've been having all sorts of weird issues today. Now, it may be down to the cold, because it's extremely cold here. It's probably -2 or 3, but camera problems. What's in there?
Phil, wait, Phil, wait.
Yes, sir, yes. If I'm poison, manufacture record. Yes, sir. Go. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Here we go. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Here we go. It's like a light is in my face, but I can't fall for you. I close my eyes and drift away. I've overdosed on you. Cause then you wake up dead one day.
In the quiet village of Glasbury stands the abandoned old rectory school. The old rectory school first opened its doors in 1816. The school was originally inside the Church of St. Peter's, which dates back to the 6th century. It was in 1805 that lessons took place in the nave and chancel of the church for the children of the village. As the numbers of pupils grew, a new school with a rectory attached was built behind the church, which was at the expense of Mrs. Bridget Hughes of Glasbury House, and the land being supplied by a Colonel Wood MP. The children were expected to attend church 3 times a week, and whilst attending school, they were to be on their best behaviour. Those who were misbehaving would be punished with a rod. The school continued to educate the children of the village and the surrounding area until it closed its doors in 2012. Not much more is known about the location, apart from the rumours that it has paranormal activity. Last year, Mark went to take a look at the property with his brother, and whilst they were there, they came into contact with a shadow figure which was caught on film. Here is the first piece of footage. If you look behind Mark, a figure seems to move from left to right as Mark walks by. And in this second piece of film, as Mark looks into one of the classrooms, a figure comes out of the darkness on the right-hand side and stands in front of him. We took 2 images of the film and enhanced them so the shadow figure can be seen more easily. As paranormal activity seems to take place in the daytime, we decided to do a daytime investigation. The location sits by itself away from the village. There are no roads or houses and nothing to contaminate any evidence that we may capture. The temperature is -4 and the area is covered in snow and ice. We start off the first investigation in the classroom where Mark filmed the shadow figure that stood in front of him. So this is the room where Mark captured the shadow figure. The doorway is over there where Mark was standing outside filming in, and it seemed as if the shadow figure sort of walked from maybe around here and stood and stopped. So whoever that was, when this gentleman was here, that figure that came and stood here, could you show yourself again, please? Now, if you want to, you could come over and touch this. And that will also let us know that you are here and that you're listening to us. Can you do that for us, please?
You hear knocking?
What are you hearing, Mark?
I could hear knocking coming from another... Could you hear it, Phil?
No, I didn't hear it, Mark.
I heard knocking coming from either down that end or in the building. Like muffled knocking.
If that is you that's knocking, could you do it louder, please?
Have you seen something there? Because that's where we caught a thing.
No, it was. I thought something. It was like at the corner of my eye. I thought someone went past, but as I turned, I couldn't see anything. It's like something moved really quickly.
Yeah, that's what I say. We caught something like that going past here when me and my brother was here.
I'm going to ask if there are any spirits here within this building. If you could come and join me now, please. Now, this is the first time I've been here, but my friend Mark, who's over there, has been here before. Can you communicate with me and let me know that you're here, that you can hear my voice, please? If you don't want to join me, by all means stay in the room behind me, but perhaps shout or make a noise so that we know that you're here. Could you do that for me, please? See, I don't know whether you can hear me, whether you can see me. Now, Mark has said that he has seen shadow figures here moving around. Now, whether that's residual or you just can't see us and we just get glimpses of you, I don't know. Which is why I'm asking you to communicate. Let me know that you have intelligence and that you can hear my voice.
Phil ends his session, and with nothing seen or heard within the first 2 classrooms, we made our way upstairs to the main hall.
I'd just like to introduce myself again. My name's Mark. This is Jeff, this is Phil. You might recognise me because I've actually been here before. I came about 6 or 7 months ago with my brother because I saw this place just by chance when I was at work, and I really wanted to come and investigate it and have a look around. And when we were here, we saw a shadow figure in one of the classrooms which turned to an orb, and then we saw it sort of peek round the door frame again at us. Made me jump at the time, or made me think I'd seen something. Are you one of the old pupils, or are you maybe a teacher or the headmaster, or somebody who helped out in the school? Could you give us your name, please? If it is one of the pupils, or even if it is a teacher, we've got some little balls on the floor. There's one in the doorway there, 2 in the middle, and 1 by my friend Phil. Or we've got a device over there. If you go by it, it'll light up and make a funny noise. Could you maybe play with one of them, please? It won't hurt you.
What was that noise?
It might have been me moving. No.
Let me check the static cam.
We've been having all sorts of weird issues today. Now, it may be down to the cold, because it's extremely cold here. It's probably -2 or 3, but camera problems.
Okay.
What's in there?
Phil, wait, Phil, wait. Now, fucking hell. Either someone's wandered in, or there's someone wearing a black cloak.
That's what we saw in there.
Fucking standing just round there.
Like an old you know the cloaks the old teachers used to wear? That's what we saw by that classroom in there.
Did you have a camera? I'm shaking.
Maybe, you might have. Who is it? Jeff might have just seen. Are you one of the old teachers or the headmaster?
Sorry.
If it's the cloaked figure, we've seen you before. What's your name? Well, I've seen you before. I can hear talking in there. I can hear talking in there. Please tell me your name. Don't be scared. We're not here to cause any harm. We're just interested and want to contact you.
As I go to check our static cam, after we all hear an electronic noise as if the camera had shut down, I look into the next room, and in the corner I see a dark cloaked figure. You can just make out what I have seen on my camera just before I jump back in surprise. At first, we think someone has come into the building, so we look inside every room and we check outside, but there is no one around. And also, if someone had come inside, we would have heard them, as the ground is covered in frozen ice which breaks underfoot as you walk. We now go to the other side where the rectory is located. So this part of the building is the old rectory, and the story goes that St. Peter's Church, just over the way there, the school was originally inside the church, and I think it got to about 20-25 children going to the church and learning their lessons there. And then there was a few more children started to join. So this building was paid for by a local lady to have this school built so the children can actually come here. And during the period as well, this was the old rectory where the vicars and reverends used to stay. So there's a REM pod over there on the stairs. I've just put a K2 meter up here on the wall. And also I've got the sensitive digital recorder, as well as the normal digital. So can I ask if there's any members of the church here, please? Were you part of St. Peter's Church? Did you live here, in this house? Maybe if you can hear my voice, if you're upstairs, could you make a noise for us, please? Or maybe come down and join us?
So can I ask if there's any members of the church here, please?
Does that sound like someone there?
Someone talking.
I can hear that from here.
We receive an EVP, a voice saying, "Go back, no one can come in here." Here is the audio enhanced, taken from the sensitive digital recorder.
Does that sound like someone there?
Someone talking.
I can hear that from here.
There are several rooms upstairs to the old rectory where this will be our final session.
Okay, we're again in the original house, which was a rectory, I believe. We've come upstairs. It's quite a small place, really. You know, it's almost a typical 2 up, 2 down, but there is another little room there. Looks like somebody's had a go at plastering in here, in one place, which looks like they've almost started to renovate, but there we go. Okay, so I'm upstairs in one of the bedrooms, and I'd like to speak to any spirits which are here. I'd like to speak to anybody who lived here. And my name is Phil. Could you tell me your name, please? It must have been quite strange living pretty much within the school. I'd imagine that by the time the school was moved from the church over here and extended wouldn't have been a member of the church necessarily that lived here, but perhaps the schoolmaster. Is that correct? I notice you have a trap door on the staircase to stop people coming up. Was that to stop children coming up and having a look through your stuff? Give you a bit of privacy, I guess. Are you able to leave the house, go into the school area? Or perhaps when you lived here, the school hadn't been added and that was part of your garden?
Knocking can be heard, which seems to vibrate through the floor. Here is the enhanced audio.
The school hadn't been added, and that was part of your garden? The school hadn't been added, and that was part of your garden? Was that walking?
There's two knocks, I heard.
Yeah, it sounded like there was some noise on the floor. Walk towards me. Yeah, that definitely came by you, Jeff. Let me come and stand over here. Now you've run away. Could you do that again? Because we all heard the knocking on the floor from over this side. It seems to be today that we've seen, or rather Jeff has seen, a figure. And we've heard knocking. It seems to be concentrating on Jeff. Do you not like him? Do you find him really annoying? Are you trying to get rid of him? No. All joking aside, if you want to push him or touch him, then do so. He won't mind. To be fair, you can push or touch myself or Mark over there. It would just be really nice if... Okay.
Right behind me, that was.
It was in the corners.
Brilliant.
Were you creeping up on him?
Or did you do it just to frighten him?
Loud banging is heard from all around us, which sounds as if it's coming from inside the walls. Here is the audio with enhancements.
It would just be really nice if... Okay. It would just be really nice if... Okay.
Right behind me, that was.
It was in the corners.
Brilliant.
If you're communicating with me, that's brilliant.
Someone just shot across there then.
Oh, for goodness sake. Look, I seem to be missing you. So, look, I'm going to hold my hand out. Could you come and touch my hand? Have you noticed that Jeff is getting closer and closer to the door? You can't say a baby. It's following him around.
Could you knock again so we can hear? The last one she did were really loud. There you go.
That was,
No, Jeff.
that was by you.
Right by my foot.
Was it by you?
It was right by my foot there. I've got freezing.
This is really good, and I thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, look, if you've been communicating with us, I do thank you. Sometimes we ask if you have a message that you'd like to get to anyone. It's a good opportunity. If this device I'm holding in my hand will record your voice. So if you'd like to leave a message for us that we can pass on to someone, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold it out at arm's length. Just talk where the red light is, and it will enable us to hear your voice. I'm going to hold it out now. Okay, well, look, thank you. Thank you for your time. I hope you're not offended by us being in here. We certainly have no intention of upsetting you or causing you any harm. But yeah, thanks.
We complete our investigation at the old rectory school. There was communication on the upper floor of the rectory and knocking which seemed to be coming from all around us. Who is the cloaked figure? A former teacher? A priest from the old rectory? When we were leaving the building, I took several photographs from outside, and during the production of this episode, one of the pictures revealed a shadow figure which seemed to be watching us from within the doorway to the building.